RBT family, what's the deal? RBT family, what's the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we are back, baby, back with more NFL action. Won't lie to y'all, it's a rough week for your dog, man. It was a rough week for your dog, man. Sometimes it be like that, man. Sometimes it be like that. Ain't gonna cry about it. I'm gonna take mine right on the chin. It is what it is, man. Sometimes can't win them all. Can't win them all. I ain't planning on going undefeated this year, so it's all good, man. It's all good. But be that as it may, we got business to tend to. A lot of good games, some excellent performances. And man, I tell y'all what, man, this NFL MVP race is heating back up. I feel like to start the season, it was a one-man show. It was Lamar's trophy to lose for like the first, let's say 6-7 weeks of the season. Then they kept stumbling, losing games that we wouldn't expect them to lose, etc. Then we had some other guys come along the way. Most recently, Saquon, and then of course Josh Allen. So this MVP race, man, is definitely heating up. I want to talk about it a little bit. But before we do, I see a few of y'all in the building. Let's see what's going on. I'm about to say mine's in the building. Happy birthday. Have a blessed show. Oh, okay, yeah, no, just happy Wednesday, yeah. Big Nation Business, what's going on? Hey, there we go, man. Shout out to my dog, D-Dot, man. Hey, it's still Big Nation Business in the building. It's still Big Nation Business in the building, for sure you right. For sure you right. Yeah, man, we going to talk about it. We definitely going to talk about it. For sure, man. But yeah, no, like I said, man. Hold on, let me get my last little notes together. But yeah, while we let everybody in here get comfortable, get settled in, we'll go ahead and break us all in with some news. Some news, man, I'm interested to talk about a little bit. First off, you know what? One second. I got to make us a little title. There we go. Now we ready. So first news on the agenda today, man. I don't know if y'all saw the news, but Michael Vick, man, Atlanta Falcons legend, spent time with the Eagles as well, had a bit of a career resurgence when he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles and playing with Andy Reid. Honestly, had his best passing season for sure under Andy Reid when Philly was putting together that dream team of sorts. But definitely, we know the legend of Mike Vick, man, from Atlanta. And so he's been announced that he's been hired as the head football coach now of Norfolk State. So he's definitely from Virginia. I think he's from, they call it Bad News. What's the real name of that place? Newport News, Virginia, I believe, is his hometown. And so, yeah, definitely a big Virginia guy, big DMV guy for sure. And so played his college ball at Virginia Tech. And so, yeah, goes back home, man, and he's going to take his shot on the sideline. And so now, most notably, of course, as far as former players turned coaches or college coaches, that party really got a lot of his steam from, Coach Deion. Prime time, man. So Coach Prime, what he did at Jackson State, HBCU, of course, what he's done these last 2 seasons at Colorado. Eddie George, man, legendary running back with the Tennessee Titans. He's also been doing a damn good job at an as an HBCU coach as well. I want to say he's at Tennessee State. And now I feel bad I didn't I can't remember where he's at now. But I want to say I believe they won their conference championship or something to that effect as well. So definitely doing very well. I know Ed Reed was trying to get into the coaching ranks and was close to getting started at the HBCU level as well. And so now, but we see Michael Vick going to try his coaching chops, man. So I'm excited to see what it looks like. I really am. Especially, like I said, back home right there in Virginia. And so I hope it works out well, man. And honestly, for when I think about like, because Michael Vick, for as dynamic and exciting of a player as he was, he's a very, very soft-spoken guy. Like Mike Vick is not at all a rah-rah in-your-face guy. Very soft-spoken, very chill. You know what I mean? For a guy that used to run 100 miles an hour, it feels like he lives the rest of his life at 5 miles an hour. You know what I mean? So, but no, I'm excited to see it, man. I love to see this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Especially with just the advent of that we're seeing just more and more former players try to get into these coaching ranks. And I know there have been talk that it's a little rough getting into the pro ranks, but nah, definitely, man, take those talents to college, man. Make some good money, make some headlines. We see what Coach Prime is doing. So he's definitely, not to say that Deion Sanders, started that wave or whatever the case, but he's definitely the guy, man, that's shown the most light. He's kicked in that door and really showed like the high level of success that, having a former player, especially a former star player as well, because that also makes a difference. You know what I mean? When you have a certain amount of like cachet with just athletes in general, you know what I mean? Like Michael Vick, even though the kids of this generation, they're too young to have seen Michael Vick or lived through it like a lot of us did, but they know Michael Vick. You know what I mean? Like he's still in your Madden games. You know what I mean? You can still unlock him in your Madden games, and he's got all the 99s for everything athletic. You know what I mean? So it still has a certain amount of cachet. So I'm excited to see, what he can get done there, man. So shout out to Michael Vick for sure. And then also, actually, where's my maybe my headlines didn't save for us, but hold on. No worries at all. No worries at all. Let me get us together real quick. Let me get us together now real quick. There we go. Boom. Next part of business. So speaking of former NFL quarterbacks and coaching, Teddy Bridgewater, man. Shout out to Teddy B. Teddy Two Gloves. Teddy Bridgewater from Miami. Went back he retired this last year. He went back to his alma mater. Is it Northwest? I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's a school. It's a Miami school in the trenches. And what's crazy is that when I was in college, this would have been, I think when Teddy Bridgewater was there, actually, there was a documentary done on his school and his program because they were like super dominant. But man, when I tell you, bro, like they school was right in the middle of the trenches. The coaches was like, imagine your uncle and them that did bids got out and then they went to coach, coach football in the middle of the hood. I mean, it was crazy. So I remember it was like Bull in the Ring or something like that. Man, it's probably on YouTube. It was a hell of a documentary, but I believe that was Teddy Bridgewater's like high school class, or maybe it was the class before Teddy Bridgewater, but be that as it may, it was a very dominant program at a time. Long story short, Teddy Bridgewater, he retires this last year from the NFL. He goes back to his alma mater and wins a state title in his first year. Man, they go 12-2. I think they might have shut out everybody they played in the playoffs. If that's crazy, doesn't believe. Or maybe they shut out like 3 out of the 4 teams they played en route to winning that state championship. But be that as it may, goes back to his alma mater. Man, walks it down, man. Gets the state championship. And then now it's been announced that Teddy said that, all right, he went home. He got his state title. And now he's ready to come back to the league, man. He's ready to come back and make another return to the NFL. And so Teddy Bridgewater, definitely a talented quarterback. Had a horrific knee injury to start his career when he got drafted in the first round by the Vikings. Played there, was up and down there, honestly, for probably, I think, 3 years. Completely shreds his knee. His career it was thought that he may not play again, etc. And then found a way back, stuck around and played the league. But Teddy Bridgewater is still young, relatively speaking, and especially for the quarterback position. I want to say Teddy Bridgewater is probably 31. You know what I mean? And so in quarterback years, I mean, he's still got a good 5, maybe 6 premium years left, and especially as a backup, which is what he has been, and which he'll probably step back into, I'd imagine. So yeah, he's got plenty of time left. If he's healthy and still has the itch, he's got time. And if from the quarterback play that we've seen this year, there can be no doubt Teddy Bridgewater probably was looking around and was like, man, you know what? Yeah, it was fun here coaching these kids, but now I can still go back and get a real bag, man. I can still go back and get a real bag. The Giants right now are trying to go back and forth between Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito. I seen Tim Boyle take some snaps. Mason Rudolph is a starter again in this league. So Teddy Bridgewater had to be looking around and was like, you know what? Yeah, man, nah, I can go get one of these bags. I can go get one of these backup bags. Might even start 3-4 games a year. And so I ain't mad at him at all, man. Went home, got the title. Now let me get back to the bag. One more last run, get my paper together, and then probably I imagine try to go back. Or I don't know if he would go back there to his high school again, depending on what they do. Or if he has eyes on maybe going to another level, going to college, whether it be the HBC route or just whatever. But I'm excited to see what Teddy decides to do, man. So I am excited to see that. Hold on, man. Let me get back in this chat, man. I see a few more y'all done got in the building. Who else in this thing? Sis in the building. Hey, you should. Hey, it's still big nation business, dog. Come on, man. Hey, you win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. All right, you live to fight another day. My dog Keandre in the building, man. Look. Let me see what he said here. Good guys took a bad L. I mean, yeah, no, we took an L. You know what I'm saying? We took an L for sure. And honestly, the thing about it, like, I'm not overly, like, I wish it would have looked different. But the same thing I was saying on Sunday is, like, this game was almost playing with house money. It didn't affect our playoffs. We're clinched the playoff. We lost this game and still clinched the playoff spot. Our playoff seeding didn't drop at all. And the same thing is true that before that game against the Eagles, that's true this week, is the division title is on the line this game Saturday against Baltimore. So, like I said, this Eagles game was almost not a freebie, so to say, but it was house money. We were without George Pickens, our best player on offense. We had 2 starters out on defense. You know what I mean? So it was like I said, it was a little house money, man. It wasn't really. It'd have been nice to get the win or to even look better, but you know, how much better would I feel if we looked better in the loss? I wouldn't feel better. It's an L. So it is what it is. Look at this guy. Meanwhile, we know what the Chiefs do. All right, well, I see what you did, man. How's Patty's ankle feeling, man? How's Patty's ankle feeling? I think Patty said it's a high ankle sprain. And I don't know if I imagine he doesn't sit down. But still, man, we see with them little. He already moves around like he got a flat tire anyway. He already moves around like he's riding on a flat, and now you know what I'm saying. Now he's got an actual high ankle sprain, man. So if I'm a Chiefs fan to end the season, I know the number 1 seed is still up for grabs between Kansas City and Buffalo, and so I mean, there's not enough. You guys don't have the luxury of maybe being able to rest them up for the playoffs. You know what I mean? And maybe try to take it slow because you still got a lot to fight for. Having home field advantage, especially in this AFC, man, that's going to be big. And so we'll see how Patty looks going forward for sure. And man, look, shout out to my dog Keandre, man. That was the next topic where I was just going to talk about Keandre. He beat me to it. Where is it at? He said it's Penix time. Told you Kirk would choke. So here we go, man. My dog Keandre asked for it, so here you go, man. Kirk Cousins has been benched finally, man. Finally been benched. And honestly, he's been playing bad ball. He's been playing bad ball for about a month and a half now. I think I saw a stat. Kirk Cousins started the season with a touchdown to interception ratio of like 7-2. And I think since like week 6, I think his touchdown to interception ratio is like 1-9. 1 touchdown to 9 interceptions. And I think he just got that touchdown. I mean, so something crazy like that. So it's got ugly for him. It's definitely turned ugly for him. And now they're going ahead and making the change. We're going to see what Michael Penix has to offer. And I'm excited to see this as well, man. It was this moment right here that Atlanta guarded themselves against when they drafted Michael Penix in the first round of last year's draft. And at the time, this pick was lambasted by any and everybody who had a chance to talk about it. And now we see the foresight of that front office to be realistic about this being a possibility and to prepare themselves and guard against it. So kudos to Raheem Morris in that front office, new front office over there, and being prepared. And now we'll see what Michael Penix can do. And I'm excited about this, man. I liked the move and the fit for Penix there. I like the young talent, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, of course, who still is yet to be unlocked if ever, but he's still a specimen. Darnell Mooney has been a very pleasant surprise there in Atlanta in that offense for sure. Bijan is coming along very nicely, so there's a lot of weapons there. And I'm very anxious to see just what Penix looks like. And then look, shout out to my dog Keandre, man. Get these comments up. So I'm excited to see what that offense does look like for sure. Hold on. With Penix behind the wheel. Oh, that's new. Look at this. Huh. Okay. Look, my software's updating on me. Look here, man. Look. Okay, I see what they did there. I like it. But no, I'm excited to see what Michael Penix looks like in this offense for sure going forward. And here's the thing about making this move. I definitely think it's warranted. Like my dog Keandre said, it's been ugly football, man. It's been ugly football for Kirk Cousins, but they're not out of this playoff race. Now, they have lost the lead in that division to Big Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, but we've been talking about that for about 6 weeks now. The Buccaneers was coming. It's been this Buccaneers division in my mind 6 weeks now. Even though they're down 0-2, they got swept by the Falcons. No worries. I never doubted that the Buccaneers are going to win this division for sure. So now we'll see, though, with Penix here, they're not out of it yet. They do, like I said, they swept the Buccaneers. If they get on some style of run here, it's interesting to see if Penix is going to maybe be the spark this team needs, and see if they can get back in this race and maybe get it down to the wire to see who comes away with it. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Penix, man. I really am. And I think he's the last of the big name guys in this class that we haven't got to see yet. So we've seen Caleb Williams, the highs and the lows, a lot more lows than highs. We've seen Jaden Daniels started like a shooting star and then tapered off a little bit. And now it's bouncing back and still playing, picking back up where he started the season, playing well, stacking a couple wins here now. Bo Nix has been a pleasant surprise. Really kind of built week over week and was gaining and was playing very well. And then he's maybe, I don't want to say full-fledged regress, but maybe kind of settled back down just a little bit these last few weeks. But they are still competitive and still winning. Drake May with the late start as well, kind of sitting behind Brissett and getting broke in that way. And he's been a little up and down, but I think still promising. We've seen Spencer Rattler with the Saints. So we've seen just about everybody there is to see, and except Michael Penix Jr. And now that time has finally came. And so I'm ready to see what he's got, man. I'm ready to see what he's got. I hope he balls. I really hope he balls out, man. I really hope he balls. Let me see my dog Keandre play this year. No, for sure. I didn't expect him to. You know what I'm saying? But also, I didn't expect Kirk to, with Kirk coming off the injury and being older and already being a guy that wasn't a terrific athlete anyway, that just wasn't his game. So, you know what I mean? So, like, him recovering from the injury, that was going to be a difficult road. But it's one thing for Kirk to be getting himself back in the groove and everything, but he's playing just flat out terrible ball. Like, this is different. Like, it's one thing to say maybe Kirk's gonna not play at the level we have seen him play for, let's say, these last 4 or 5 years in Minnesota. Like, I expected there to be a drop off from that as he worked himself back from the injury, and new team, new players, new scheme. You know what I mean? Or familiar scheme, but still different than what he was doing. A little different than what he was doing in Minnesota. So I expected there to be some growing pains, but there's one thing to have growing pains, and there's another thing to just be flat out playing bad ball. Kirk Cousins is flat out playing bad ball. You know what I mean? And he's been playing bad enough for long enough that we know the check has something to do with it, because he could have got pulled four games ago. Kirk Cousins honestly could have been pulled 4 games ago. You know what I mean? But when you sign a guy for 4 years, $100 million guaranteed, you're gonna go as long down that road as you can, and they definitely did. Like I said, his last, he's one touchdown to 9 over his last interceptions. Excuse me, I don't even know what that was. We're gonna start over. He's thrown 1 touchdown to 9 interceptions over the last month and a half, 2 months of the season. So there's been plenty of time to make the move, but when the guy's guaranteed $100 million, you know what I mean, for the first 2 seasons, you're gonna give him every chance you can, you know what I mean, to see if he can pull himself out of it. And especially honestly when it's a proven veteran guy like Kirk Cousins, because you know sometimes guys go in slumps, and then you let a guy, you know what I'm saying, you let a guy pull himself out of it if he can, and they've got to the point now where Kirk's not pulling himself out of it, if he will, or he's not pulling himself out of it fast enough, and they're quickly running out of time to make a run at this division. So I want to say they had dropped a game behind the Bucks. They won this week, and the Bucks won as well. So the Bucks maintain, I believe it's a 1-game lead that the Bucks have on the Falcons, but the Falcons did sweep the series 2-0. So all they have to do is tie the Bucks as far as the final record goes, and then they win the tiebreaker with the 2 head-to-heads. And so they're still in this race for sure. But yeah, there's no way. I realistically just wouldn't imagine that Kurt would be playing, just flat out playing bad. If he had some growing pains, or if he re-aggravated the injury and had to miss time, like all those things aside, I didn't really envision that he would just flat out stink it up. He's just playing bad. You know what I mean? He's playing. It's ugly. It's ugly bad. You know what I mean? So that's the little bit of the difference there. But let me see, man. What else was going on? What else was going on? I know what else I want to talk about. This MVP race. What's going on, man? How y'all feeling? Y'all in the chat, let me know. I think there's 3 guys. There's 3 guys primarily at the top, and I think these 3 names have they've traded places a little bit over these last few weeks, but these have been the 3 names, let's say, over the last month of the season, or so to say. Big Josh, Lamar, and Saquon. Now, I definitely think, especially with the 2 monster performances that we just saw from Josh and Lamar, respectively, and then Saquon getting held in check. I mean, there's no other way around it. Having a relatively quiet day, getting held in check versus Steelers. But honestly, it wasn't needed for him to do much as far as production goes. They handle business without him, or without him being a big part of it. But be that as it may, man, it's almost feeling now like a two-man race. I think Saquon, unless he gets, I mean, he very well could still get back on track to break the single season rushing record. He can have some monster performances, but I don't know, man. I still think this thing is going to come down to Big Josh and Lamar. And man, it's hard to see. Y'all know how I feel about Big Josh, man. Big Josh has been my favorite quarterback in the league for last several years. It's been 3. I don't know if it's been 3 or 4 years. So there's no secrets there. I definitely appreciate his game. He's a stud. But man, Lamar was on a completely different level this year, especially the start, the hot start they got off. Now the wins and losses haven't always came through, but Lamar's been special. Lamar's been special, and this is what irks me, I guess, over the fact that he won the Super Bowl, or he won the MVP last year, because last year was like a relatively pedestrian year. Like, he was very big in the biggest games, but then he was very pedestrian for the other 12, 13 games of the year. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it was one of those tricky kind of down MVP years. Lamar was best in the biggest moments, in the biggest primetime games. He got the trophy. So it is what it is. But this year's been something different, man. And then Josh, his year started kind of pedestrian like Lamar's, but then now that we're in the 4th quarter of the season, Big Josh has really turned up, man. Big Josh has had probably the 2 most impressive back-to-back performances, his individual performances that we've seen, regardless of wins and losses, because he lost that game 2 weeks ago now against the Rams, in which he had 6 touchdowns in the game, 3 receiving, 3 rushing. He follows that up this week with a 4-touchdown day against what had by and large been considered the best team in the league for most of this year. 2 in the air, 2 on the ground in this game as well, and 1 in their build. I mean, so Josh Allen is definitely flat out balling right now. But then Lamar has a 5-touchdown day. Lamar threw 4 incompletions against the Giants and threw 5 and had 5 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Just a phenomenal day as well. So it's really heating up and going back and forth between those 2. And then this was just the worst week for Saquon to be, relatively quiet or held in check, so to say. especially when you get massive performances from the other two guys at the top of that, at the top of the thought process there. So I don't know, man. I don't know how y'all feeling. And then also, man, is there a dark horse candidate, looming? Is there somebody? I don't think there's another guy that is threatening the top with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And I think Saquon is definitely. I think I would, if I had to rank it. If I had to rank it, I would say Lamar and Josh are the tier 1 MVP candidates. And then there's another level. Then I've got Saquon. And then I think there's another level. And there's where I'm asking, is there a dark horse, man? Is there somebody out there that maybe they're not going to win the award, but somebody that deserves some recognition, man? Somebody who's going to be Dylan Gabriel at the Heisman ceremony. Like, why are you really here? Like, respectfully, we really didn't need to see you on the podium, bro. We respectfully so. But you had a fantastic year, so let's appreciate you. Is there a candidate like that? That's what I'm talking about. And honestly, I think so. I think so, man. If there's another guy, if I had to pick a Dylan Gabriel, so to say, for the MVP race, a guy that's definitely 2 levels or 2 tiers below those 3 guys, but that's having a fantastic season and deserves a shout out, Baker Mayfield. I don't care what y'all say. Big Baker Mayfield doing the damn thing, man. Big Baker Mayfield doing the damn thing, regardless of injury. He lost his top 2 receivers, former All-Pros. He lost 2 All-Pro receivers this season and held the course. Rookie running back. Steadied the ship, held the course, stayed competitive. Went to the defending champ Kansas City on Monday night, took them boys to overtime. Without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. With the rookie running back, Bucky Irvin. Baker Mayfield been playing his ass off. Baker Mayfield's going to finish with more than 35 touchdowns this year. Playing his ass off. Winning that division. He's going to finish out, win that NFC South. Baker Mayfield might be this year's Dylan Gabriel as far as the MVP conversation, man. And we had to shout him out. And then also, Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold deserves a lot of credit because he's had a phenomenal year. The Vikings are 11-2. Why do we? I had to remind myself every week. Damn, the Vikings 11-2. And one of them games they lost smelled a little funny. It was that weird Rams game where they had several massive missed or blown calls. You know what I mean? So Sam Darnold and the Vikings as well, man. But I would go Baker ahead of Sam. But did want to shout out some of these dark horse guys, man, that are playing phenomenal, playing absolutely phenomenal, having fantastic years. And yeah, this is one of those years where the MVP race at the top, especially, is spectacular. So these type of guys maybe won't get the shout out of the recognition that maybe they would get more mention if this was another year. If this was last year, then Baker, Sam Darnold, you know what I'm saying? Well, without Josh and Lamar. But if not for Josh and Lamar, if this was last year's race, y'all would have made, boy, look, y'all be sick of me. I'll be telling y'all Baker Mayfield's MVP of the season, MVP of the league. But be that as it may, man, that's where things stand now. Let me see, man. Who else got in this thing? What my dog Keandre said. Keandre said his MVP is Josh Allen, man, as much as it hurts him to say. Dog, he's a stud, man. Josh Allen's different, dog. Josh Allen's different. And what's crazy, Keandre? Like, boys love to get on me, man, about me being such a fan of Josh Allen. I was not a fan of when he came into the league from, was it Wyoming? I can't even remember now, man. Wyoming or wherever it was, I wasn't a fan. I was super critical and hard on him. And honestly, I had to watch the boy play. I had to watch the film. And then once it dawned on me, I can't remember the exact moment, but I'm watching Josh Allen, I'm watching the Bills, and then it hit me like, oh my God, this is the next evolution of Cam Newton. Josh Allen is the next evolution of Cam Newton. You know what I mean? And then I look at his game, the way he plays. So like you can watch the best 5, 10, 15, 20 throws of Josh Allen. Shit might as well be Patrick Mahomes. Watch the best 5, 10, 20 runs of Josh Allen. Shit, that's just as good as Lamar Jackson. So then I see a guy with Cam Newton's body type, and he's Patrick Mahomes when he's throwing the ball. He's Lamar Jackson when he's running the ball. Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes had a baby, and they gave him Cam Newton's body, and that's big Josh Allen. That's the best football player in the league, man. I don't care what y'all say. And I've been on that wave. I was on that wave early. Y'all better check my records, man. I got footage. Y'all better check my footage, boy. He's a stud. Don't feel bad about it, Keandre. Boy's a stud, man. He's an absolute stud. And honestly, I would love to say it's Josh Allen. And I still think he may win it, and it's not over yet. But I got to see how Lamar finishes this season. Lamar, for about 7 weeks, was on a level by himself of anybody in the league. You know what I mean? Including Josh Allen. Like, Lamar, for the first 7 weeks of this season, was absolutely dynamite. It just felt like he was playing, like, it felt like 92, 93, 91, 92 Jordan. Every night he's dropping 40 effortlessly. There's just nothing you can do. MJ's getting 40 tonight, man. If we're lucky. He might drop 50. That's how Lamar was playing, man, for the first, 7 games of the season. Then, got a little dicey. They lost a couple games they probably shouldn't have lost. Whatever. But even the L's of the Ravens, it's hard for me to put them on Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been fantastic. And then, of course, this most recent performance after the bye week, you know what I mean? Comes back with a vengeance, has a 5-touchdown day. He's right back in his groove. So, like I said, man, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment because Josh Allen, this last month of the season, has really kicked it up another notch. So, if I had to go 1A right now, I would still go 1A Lamar, 1B Big Josh, and then Saquon, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, these other guys kind of trickle in there. But fantastic year. Fantastic year. Who else in the building, man? Jolly Juice in the business, man. What's going on? He said the Steelers lost again. See, I don't even know who the Steelers are, big dog. I don't even know who the Steelers are. Yeah. He said, hey, jab back, baby, jab back. You know what I'm saying? Jab back. Jab back. My dog Keandre said, my eye test was who didn't do enough to beat the Chiefs when nobody else has this year, and that's Josh. Refused to lose a close one on fourth. I mean, man, I said, boy, these Chiefs fans, boy, y'all awful fool of yourself. Did enough to beat the Chiefs, boy. Look, they swear y'all ain't no juggernaut, dog. Y'all not no juggernaut, man. Y'all done enough to rise to the occasion, man, and split that hair at the 12th hour. So congratulations to y'all. Well, you talking like this is like beating y'all was beating the 96 Bulls. Like, man, yeah, Big Josh has got one over on the 96 Bulls. Boy, y'all ain't the 96 Bulls. Y'all winning though. You know, shout out to you. He said, effed up my perfect season. Boy, y'all wasn't going undefeated. Boy, y'all played the Steelers on Christmas night. Hello. Y'all must have forgot. We ain't forget for y'all, though. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk about these Chiefs. Why these Chiefs fans ain't here feeling good, man. Kansas City goes to Cleveland, gets a dub, 21-7. Now, honestly, I had predicted this one as a bit of an upset on the road with Cleveland and that defense, namely Cleveland and that pass rush. I was really thinking that Myles Garrett was going to be a problem in this game. I thought he would be the difference because that Kansas City pass rush has looked abysmal the most of this season, but especially here recently. Now, kudos to Kansas City and Andy Reid. I think when I was talking on Sunday to Keandre, he was thinking Kingsley Sumatea was going to start at left tackle, but instead they had Joe Tooney slide from guard to tackle, and he played left tackle, and they brought in another guard. And so they had actually did that, I want to say mid-game. Was it like 2 weeks ago? I think that was against the Raiders when Wanya Morris was just out there just getting just destroyed. And I think during that game, they slid Tooney to left tackle and brought in the backup guard. And so they ran that lineup back, and he did well. Myles Garrett got I thought Myles Garrett got his eyeball pulled out. He was on the ground, face first, kicking his feet, rolling, grabbing his face. I was like, man, look, his eyeball better be on the field when he get up. His eyeball better be on the turf when he gets up. But nah, man, I don't know. Just got a finger in the eye, man. Which is not, I'm not discounting it. You ever got poked in the eye, especially in a football game, boy, hey, Ain't no joke, but still, boy, I thought you lost the eyeball. But I tell you what, man, Cleveland comes out, gets a stop, gets an early stop, forces Kansas City to punt, and then Cleveland being Cleveland, they fumble the damn punt. Kansas City recovers, easy touchdown. I was okay, yeah, this game is over. Game is over. When they got that stop, I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna make it interesting. And then they gave the ball right back to Kansas City on that short field. Juju Smith-Schuster gets that touchdown, and I was like, okay, yeah, this game's over. Yep, that's it. That's how it goes. That's how it starts, man. That's how it starts. But then, like I said, man, biggest news from this game: Patrick Mahomes gets his ankle banged up. I think they confirmed it's a high ankle sprain. So, man, that's definitely something to be worried about. These high ankle sprains are serious enough injuries, man. So that's not something like he'll carry this as long as the Chiefs season goes. He'll deal with this issue with the ankle. You know what I mean? So that's definitely unfortunate news for the Chiefs fans for sure. But they swear they Debo. Yeah, that's a fact, man. Keanu said Wanye was the best rated that game. Boy, hey, you ain't lying. He was out there getting honey roasted, boy. Honey roasted. But no, I'm want to see, and I know Kansas City, y'all play. Hey, Keandre and Jolly Juice, man. Who's Kansas City play this week? Who's Kansas City play? I know next week, Christmas, y'all play my Steelers. Who y'all got this week, though? Because this is going to be a critical game as well as far as y'all holding on to the number one seed. Because I think it is an AFC opponent, I believe. And so with Buffalo playing the way they are, they're only one game back of you guys, and they do have the tiebreaker over y'all. Y'all really can't afford to. This is a terrible time for Petty to be injured, is what I'm getting at. Especially with that number one seed still on the line for sure. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. Moving on. Cincinnati goes on the road to Tennessee. Gets a dub, 37-27. Joe Burrow, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. Does throw 2 picks in this one. Chase Brown, running back, 97 yards in a touchdown. Also gets a receiving touchdown. Jamar Chase, another 94 yards in the air. T. Higgins, another 90 yards in a touchdown. Defense gets a pick 6. So all around, pretty decent game for the Bengals. They get a much-needed dub. The Bengals still have some style of they're still not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. So there's still a chance. There's still a chance if they win out and the right teams lose, maybe the Bengals find a way to sneak into the playoffs. We'll never know. We won't know until we know, but they do go on the road and get a good win, get a much-needed win to keep their hopes alive against the Titans. Let me see. Okay, can I say, okay, y'all got the Texans. Ooh, the Texans in Houston. Okay, Houston just got a dub. They just came off their bye. Wasn't the prettiest, but you know what I'm saying? They still got it done. So that's still a big game, man. Like I said, because y'all need to win just to keep Buffalo off y'all ass for real. Like I said, y'all one game ahead of Buffalo, but they got the head-to-head. And y'all got a tough slate, especially coming up with Patty and his ankle being injured the way it is. Oh, and that Texans pass rush? Danielle Hunter and Will Alexander? Boy, Will Anderson. Excuse me. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter? Boy, I tell you what, boy, that Texans game ain't gonna be no walk in the park, Keandre. That Texans game ain't gonna be no walk in the park, Jolly Juice. That Texas game ain't gonna be no walk in the park, Miles. That Texas game ain't gonna be no walk in the park, Hoppy. All these Chiefs fans, I'm just telling y'all, boy, hey, with that, that one should have you a little nervous. That should have you a little nervous. Washington goes on the road to New Orleans and gets a dub, 20-19. Nice bounce back kind of performance, I'd say, for Jaden Daniels. Or in this Washington team, just period, man. They got off to such a hot start. The middle part of the season really took a toll on them. I want to say they lost 3 out of 4 before going into the bye week. Then you come out the bye, you lose to a struggling or down Cowboys team at home, and so now rebounding, stacking a couple wins, get a good win here. 220 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jaden Daniels, 60 on the ground, a 2-touchdown day for Scary Terry as well. And then on the other side for the Saints, and we talked about this last week in college and in the NFL, the Saints, they're losing 17-0 in this game in third quarter before they kind of make a rally. And then they get the late score, and it's 19-20, and they actually went for the win. They attempted the 2-point conversion to see if they could steal this one away. They were unsuccessful. They ended up losing that game by 1 point. But see, I don't mind that at all. because the overtime isn't a guaranteed win, especially when you've been getting smoked all day. It was 17-0 in the third quarter. And you at home, so you found a way to get in this one. I applaud the thought process, or I applaud the decision to go for it. And like I said, you can't win them all, man. It's not a bad decision because you don't make it. And we'll talk about it again when we get to the Lions game with Dan Campbell. But I hate when people, it's a bad decision. Well, it didn't work, so now it's a bad decision. Like, nah, man. You got to evaluate the move on its own. Win or lose, it's got to be a good decision. You got to feel good about it, win or lose. I feel good about it. You came up short, but you took a chance. You put your own destiny in your own hands. You were in your building. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, make your move, man. Take your shot. Shooters shoot, man. So I ain't mad at the Saints at all for falling short, man. That was, like I said, valiant effort, and they end up falling short in that one. Who done got to the building, man? Elvis plays roadblocks, man. What's up, man? He said, what's going on? What's up, man? I don't think I recognize your name, bro. First off, where you from and who's your team, man? Holla at me. Where you from, Elvis, and what's your team, dog? Hey, yeah, man. Hey, good question, Keandre. Where the hell is Tom? Tom, where you at, boy? We was talking about your Texans. NFL questionnaire in the building, man. What's going on, man? What's up? Hey, it was a rough one for us on Sunday, man. We're gonna talk about it. Elvis said, "Why you copying me, questionnaire guy?" I don't know, man. I don't know nothing. I don't know what to say about that. Elvis said he's from Stockton. He likes the Chargers. Elvis, man, I know another Stockton fan. I know another Chargers fan from Stockton. Hey, that's what I was supposed to say. He said, "Where's RTC?" I was just about to say, my dog RTC from Stockton. He's a Chargers fan. Maybe my dog RTC and Elvis, man, maybe they can't be in the room at the same time. Maybe that's what's going on. I ain't mad at you either way. Appreciate you, homeboy. Moving on, man. Baltimore on the road against the Giants. And, of course, I think we already kind of talked about this game a little bit, but fantastic performance from Lamar Jackson, man. He goes 21 for 25, 290 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, adds another 65 yards on the ground. And, I mean, he had 5 touchdowns versus 4 incompletions in this game. I don't give a damn that it is against the Giants. I don't give a damn that it is against the Giants. You got beat who lines up on Sunday, man. It ain't you don't pick it. You don't pick who you play on Sunday. Whoever shows up got to get to work, man. And so that's what they did. I'm not going to discount it because it was the Giants. That was a fantastic performance. Fantastic performance for sure. MVP kind of performance. Relatively pedestrian day for Derrick Henry, 67 yards on 14 carries. Rashad Bateman had 80 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Justice Hill, running back, had 60 receiving yards and a touchdown as well. The Giants are the Giants. Tim Boyle and Tommy DeVito both split time played in this game. This is the game. If I'm Teddy Bridgewater and I saw this game and saw Tim Boyle and Tommy DeVito getting a start, you know what I'm saying, in New York City, and I'm Teddy Bridgewater, I'm coming out of retirement too. Teddy. So I feel you, dog. I feel you. Like, man, hell no. Like, man, hey, coaching high school's cool. I love the kids. I love being here at the crib. But boy, hey, the Florida Public Schools District ain't paying that good, man. The Florida public school system is not paying that good. I go get one of these Tommy DeVito checks. I get one of these Tim Boyle checks, one of these Drew Lock checks, one of these Mason Rudolph checks. Yeah, man, tell them kids you'll be back a little later, man. Tell these kids you'll be back a little later. Elvis said, RGC's his brother. Oh, okay. Hey, well, welcome in, bro. Appreciate you. Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Both y'all from Stockton. Both y'all cheer for the Chargers. All right. Well, hey, appreciate you coming through hollering at me, dog. Appreciate you. Oh, he said he's got a little lag. And since he got some lag, I got you. Okay, I appreciate you, homeboy. Go ahead, get comfortable, man. What my dog Keandre say? He said, you don't pick who you play, but don't get stripes when you beat up on the midgets. Well, see, now here's the thing about it, though, man. Like, I don't even look at it like picking on a small guy. Like, this is just a fantastic performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just lights out, dog. He was just lights out. Like, and especially, like, if you saw, like, I don't think this wasn't an outlier performance because he was playing a bad team. I guess that's what I should have said. Like, it's one thing if we see a guy and he's just a Joe, and then he plays a down team, and now he looks like, you know what I'm saying? He looks like prime Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? Now he looks like prime Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? Then it's like, nah, bro, I can't really give you no stripe right there. But nah, this is a killer. You know what I'm saying? It's a guy with bodies. We know what Lamar do out here. You know what I mean? So this isn't just a one-off because he's playing a down team. And honestly, in hearing and seeing his interviews of late, he's fired up. He's pissed off. You know what I'm saying? He's been marking this game down. They had the bye week. You know what I mean? So he's had this pent up anyway, man. It could have been anybody. And I think Lamar was going to go out there and put on the show. I think Lamar, and like I said, he's had fantastic performances all year long. So I ain't going to take this one away from him. He's been playing his ass off for all year for the most part. RTC said his system's laggy, man. It's all good. And you benched. He said he benched Lamar in his fantasy and he still won. Boy, I don't know how you did that, boy. The rest of your line, you must have had Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. Who else had a big day? Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, AJ Brown. Like, you must have had like some real studs. The last 2 weeks, my homeboy, he's got Josh Allen these last 2 weeks. The 2 weeks ago, I lost because of Josh Allen's game against the Rams. And then this week, he had Josh Allen again, but I ended up winning because I had a decent day as well. But, man, it was probably closer than it should have been. Josh Allen been carrying him. See, I'm the 1 seed. I'm the 1 seed in my playoffs, in my little fantasy league with me and my homeboys. Yeah. I got y'all. I was trying to catch up on that chat. But yeah, moving on, man. We keep pushing. Dallas on the road at Carolina. Dallas gets this dub 30-14. And, man, here's the thing, man. I had picked Carolina to win this one. Vegas had picked Carolina to win this one. They were the favorites for the first time in like 2 years in the game. And, like, tons of people start getting on the Carolina train. I don't even want to call it the bandwagon. That's too strong. But tons of people had tuned in and started, cheering or pulling for Carolina. And as soon as that happened, when it became the popular pick, something told me, like, look, we didn't talk Dallas into this win. If we didn't talk Dallas into winning this game, and they damn sure did. And honestly, they were in firm control. 30-14. Cooper Rush throws for 3 touchdowns. Rico Dowdle he's really had a very solid year, but he's been damn productive of late. I was at the Cincinnati game on Monday night, a couple Mondays ago. He had a big 100-plus yard day there. He has another 100-yard day here. 25 carries for $150. Woo! Hey, man, Rico Dowdle is playing some damn good ball here of late. And he's probably the least popular player on that team because all year long, all of us have been crying about Dallas not going out and getting a running back, not signing Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Not giving Dalvin Cook a real chance to play. You know what I mean? But meanwhile, Rico Dowdle is putting up buckets. 25 for $150. I don't care what your name is. He balled. You know what I'm saying? And against this Panthers defense. This Panthers defense gave the Philadelphia Eagles fits just last week. You know what I'm saying? They took Patrick Mahomes and his Chiefs to the wire. So the Carolina Panthers have been playing decent competitive ball of late, but they do fall short. Bryce Young throws 2 interceptions in this one. That's it, man. He throws 2 interceptions. He did score 2 touchdowns as well. He threw a touchdown and he rushed one in as well. But Panthers come back down to earth and lose a convincing game to Dallas for sure. Hold on, let me see what's going on in my chat. Oh, he said Ike White's his cousin, by the way. Hey, man, hey, go ahead and keep it in the family, man. Oh, wait, man, hold on, man. Hold on, dog. Hold on, RTC. I just seen your post, man. Man, dog, you serious, man? You serious, bro? Well, I'm assuming you serious, man. Wouldn't nobody play like that. I hope wouldn't nobody play like that. Man, hey, look, condolences, dog. Damn, Ike. Hey, man, condolences, Ike. God bless the dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. I real talk, man. If you say Ike White that passed away, dog, and I think you said that's your cousin, condolences, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know homeboy. I didn't know your cousin, of course. He found my channel, came in, rocked out with your dog a few times, man. I definitely seen him involved in the chat. So my condolences, dog. I'm sad to hear that news. I hope you, his family, I know you said his brother's taking it hard. I can only imagine, dog. So my condolences to y'all, man. That's terrible news to hear, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm definitely sorry to hear that, man. Damn, dog. Sorry to hear that, bro. Sorry to hear that, man. And then my dog Keandre, man, he came back and said, "Yeah, I feel you though. Yeah, like it's sexier when it's a better opponent. But yeah, like you said, like we know Lamar, we know what Lamar do out here. You know what I mean? That's why I said like we know what Lamar do out here. So I ain't gonna try to home. You know what I mean? But I do dig what you said, man. It'd have been a little sexier if it was a better opponent. Like Big Josh had to do it on the road in Detroit against Detroit. You know what I'm saying? On the road in LA. You know what I mean? And so I dig what you're saying, though. I dig what you said. My dog questionnaire got one for me, man. Said if we could schedule these games, how would I do? 5 slots: Monday, Sunday, Thursday, and early and the late. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can run through this one. Okay, Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, Packers, Steelers, Lions, Ravens, Texans, Bengals. I'd go Lions, Ravens, Monday night. I think that's the premium matchup of the ones you listed. Next would probably be for Sunday night of these listed. Broncos, Chiefs doesn't really have the same buzz for me. Chargers, Vikings doesn't really have the same buzz for me. Like I feel like those matchups are kind of lopsided. Packers, Steelers. I really enjoy watching the Packers. I like Jordan Love, and I'm a Steelers fan. But you know that I mean that's probably a little homerism. But honestly, if you're asking me, which you did, then I would go Packers and Steelers on Sunday night. Thursday, I can go. Broncos, Chiefs. I'm just not excited to see that matchup. We've seen that matchup before. It wasn't an overly exciting game. The Chiefs got out of that one blocking a very short field goal. It's a 30-yard field goal. They get a block to save that win. They can run that back on Thursday. I don't think it's an exciting game. And then in the early slot, let's go Chargers, Vikings in the early slot. And then the late slot, man, we'll go Texans, Bengals. That's probably how I would work that one. Yeah, hey, no doubt, man. Yeah, for sure, man. R.I.P. to Ike White, man. R.I.P. to Ike YT, dog. Man, that's sad news, man. And I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna try to ask you to talk too much about it, especially, man. I can only imagine how uncomfortable that is, but it feels like I know y'all are younger guys, so I imagine Ike was a younger dude. You know what I'm saying? Was he? I imagine he was a younger guy as well, man. So, damn, dog. Condolences, man. Creco in the building, man. Yeah, RP to Ike, dog. Man, that's sad news, man. That's sad news, bro. My dog Keandre, man, offer some condolences as well. Ike's brother got in the chat for us, man. Let me see what his brother got for us, man. Says his brother. All the streamers really chatted with and telling them the news. Yeah, RTC let us know, man. Damn, dog. Man, I hate to hear that, man. Damn, condolences, man. Condolences to you and the family for sure, dog. Hey man, why you leak my dog government, dog? That's RTC, dog. You didn't leak my dog government. Keanu said the Broncos play out. Yeah, and that's to be expected, man. Those division rivalry games, like it's always gonna be tight. Like that's what I was telling you. Like when it's the Browns, like the Steelers and the Browns, like dog, them division rivalry games, dog, you gotta really throw the records out. Like those division rivalry games are always gonna be tough games. Like somebody might get one up on the other one, you know what I mean, or whatever. But for the most part, those games are always gonna be dog fights. You know what I mean? Because both teams know each other so well, the familiarity. So I feel you. Like, and so I know how it is for sure. 16? Man, no way, dog. No way, man. Damn, dog. 16, man. Look, I can tell you, I'm 36, dog. I'm 20 years older than Ike White was, man, when he just passed, dog. 16, bruh. Man, That's super sad, man. That's super sad. And I hate like all the cliche things that we all hear and that people say and that we say that I was gonna say right now. You know what I mean? Like all the things, but it's so true. Like when I hear it and think about it, especially now that I'm getting older, like the way I see things and think about things and like all that's changing for me, honestly. You know what I'm saying? But like I can really say this now and it feels crazy. I think it's the first time I've said something like this to somebody else, but now it hits me and I get it. Bro, he had his whole life ahead of him, dog. Like from 16 to 36, like I've probably evolved like 3 times. Cause even getting from 16 to 18 is a jump. You know what I'm saying? Like getting out of high school and then starting the next phase of life, whether that's gonna be college or a trade school, or you going to the service, or you just going straight to work. But like that's a jump or an evolution in your just your life. You know what I'm saying? Then that period in that time from like 18 to 25, where you know what I'm saying, you finally an adult. You finally start getting a little money in your pocket if you're working. You know what I'm saying? Where during that time you're gonna work, you're gonna get a job. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever. You're gonna fall in love, you're gonna get your heart broke. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna go through that phase, you're gonna find yourself, you're gonna start to better understand the things that you like about yourself, reinventing the things that you don't like about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So many things happen. And then from there, you'll change again, dog. From 25 to 30, you'll change. From 25 to 30, or maybe like 25 to 32, somewhere in there. You know what I mean? Like you'll evolve again. You know what I mean? You'll like settle into being like just an everyday adult. And that sounds crazy to say, but like I can think about it now, and it feels like one day like it just hit me. I was probably like 27, like damn, I'm grown as hell, dog. You know what I mean? Like just the way you process things, man. Like just this all those changes. You know what I'm saying? And then getting to like from like 32 to like where I'm at now, like 36. You know what I'm saying? Like 35 plus. You know what I'm saying? On the other side of 35, like your mind changes again. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell you, bro, I ain't got patience for damn near. I ain't got time to go back and forth with nobody. I ain't got time to argue with people when I know I'm right about something. And it don't matter. I used to always feel like I had to convince people to see things my way. Now, look, man, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and you can do with that with information what you want. My sister could tell you. My sister's kids could tell you. I ain't got time for the bullshit, man. This is wrong. I can tell you how to do it right, or I can tell you what's right. You can listen or you can not listen. You fucked it up. This is what you should have did. This is what you need to do next time. You don't like what I had to say? That's on you, big dog. But I got the answers to the test. You can have them or not. But I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like just so man, yeah, man. When I tell you, dog, 16, man, I'm super sorry to hear this news, dog. Man, that's terrible news, man. And honestly, man, I'm glad I got to run across him, man. I'm glad I got to bump into dude, man. I'm glad I got to bump into little bro for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like just getting here, hanging out, just hanging out in the chat, talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like talking a little ball, talking about Mrs. Green a little bit. You know what I mean? Like all of that, man. So yeah, man. Yeah, one more time, man. Hey, Creek fan in the building as well, man. Yeah, RP to Ike, man. 16, dog. Damn, dog. Sis in the building as well, man. Offering some condolences, man. Yeah, sorry for y'all loss for sure, dog. Dip Tangle mapping in the building, man. Yeah, RP to Ike, man. That's one of them members, dog. That's one of them members, man. RP to Ike, dog. One of them members, dog. For sure. Man. NFL questionnaire got one for me. Can the Falcons continue to win by shifting their offensive strategy away from Kirk Cousins? Hey, that's a damn good question, man. And so it was definitely time to make the move. Kirk's been playing terrible. There's another way around it. And me and my dog Keandre, we were talking about it in the chat a little bit earlier before everybody kind of settled in. And so Kirk's been playing bad enough that if not for this new contract, he probably would have been benched a month ago. And so I think it's definitely warranted to make this change at this time. He's a veteran guy. He's getting paid a shit ton of money. So it's not an easy transition to make, especially when the front office and the coaches to a certain extent, especially at certain positions. The quarterback position is bigger than just on the field. Excuse me. The quarterback position is bigger than just what's on the field because so much money is tied up into it. So much persona, so much like being the face of an organization, like these things, like all that stuff, it weighs so much heavier at this position. That's why the Browns ain't did nothing with Deshaun Watson. He gave him $230 million, guaranteed. If he's on the bench, he's $230 million on the bench. That money is spent. And so Kirk Cousins, to a lesser extent, is in that same scenario for the Falcons. He's getting $100 million guaranteed. So if I'm gonna give him $100 million, he better be out there busting his ass. I don't want to see him sitting down on the sideline eating hot dogs, and I'm still paying you $100 million. So those things matter, man. They count. They count when the organization is trying to make this. Now, players and fans alike, we don't give a damn. It ain't our money. It ain't our money, man. We don't give a care about none of that. So I definitely think, especially with as poorly as they've been playing, I think the floor is already so low that I think Penix, like, I don't know what type of expectation we can have for Penix because Kirk's been playing so bad. So this is the perfect time to make this move because what are we going to compare Penix to? So now what's the measure of success for Penix, given what we've seen from Kirk Cousins for the last 2 months? So I think the pressure is a little less, but at the same time, there is pressure because the Falcons are still in the playoff race. The Falcons are only a game behind the Buccaneers, and they swept the Buccaneers in the season series. So they're still very much in the playoff race, but I think I think the Penix has a chance to be a real spark. And the way these things happen, we've talked about on the show. When Bryce Young got benched for Andy Dalton 2 months ago, we talked about it then on the show. Like, no, the Panthers are going to look the best they've looked all year. And that's what happened. They went on the road and won against the Raiders. This is the week after the Raiders went on the road and beat the Ravens. You know what I mean? And then they came back down to earth. But when you make that type of change, it does give a drastic shock or shift in energy to the locker room. And so normally you get a quick buoy of energy that, and that's what I would expect to see. Now, whether or not they can maintain it or, continue on and extend it out, which the Panthers weren't able to do, but maybe they can. But no, I love Michael Penix as a prospect. Michael Penix was my QB3 last year. Above Drake May, above Bo Nix, above J.J. McCarthy. I had Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix. Michael Penix was my number 3 the whole process. And so I know a lot of folks, there was talk about him not even being a first-round caliber quarterback. The talk around Michael Penix going into this draft season was crazy, by the way. But no, I have no doubt in his ability. I love his arm. You know what I mean? I like his arm strength. I like his accuracy can be a little touch and go a little bit, but he's got tools to be successful. And I love the weapons. Bijan Robinson has really turned it up at the running back position in this second year. Stud. Drake London is a very, very nice young receiver. Darnell Mooney is one of the surprise and is one of the best signings of the offseason. He's having a career year, it feels like. It feels like arguably it can be said that maybe Mooney is wide receiver 1 for this offense. There's games in which he's the guy. You still got Kyle Pitts. Who knows if Michael Penix may be the guy that finally unlocks Kyle Pitts or what we expect to get from Kyle Pitts. Maybe Penix is the missing piece to that puzzle. So they've got tons of weapons. And so I think he's got a chance to be very successful for sure. I think he's got a chance to be very successful. Michigan Rules Mapping, man. Another RIP for Ike, man. RIP Ike for sure, man. Questionnaire came back, gave him an RIP as well. Hey, Keon, hey, man. Hey, what you talking about? Hey, classmate. Hey, you ain't too far from me, boy. Hey, if I'm elderly, bro, you right there with me, dog. You right there with me, man. Shout out to Vichy Victoria in the chat, man. RIP to the legend, man. Ike. RIP to Ike the legend, man, for sure. One of them members, dog. RIP, bro. Mega Republican in the building, man. Yeah. Hey, RIP, man. Said first thing he saw when he got on the stream, man. Hey, that is, man. That's terrible news, man. I hate that's how we brought you in today, man. But nah, RIP to Ike, man. Young dude, 16 years old, man. Damn, dog. Are the Raiders playing with house money down the stretch? Man, hell yeah. If they smart, they'll lose every game they can. If they smart, they'll lose every game they can. The Raiders and the Giants are racing towards the number 1 pick. Neither one of them wants to win a game. You know what I mean? Neither one of them wants to win a game. So they're racing for the number 1 pick. So between Shedeur Sanders from Colorado and Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami, pick your poison. I don't know, depending on how you feel. Some people may prefer Cam Ward. Some people may prefer Shedeur. Personally, I lean Shedeur, but Shedeur's got warts as well, man. He does. I love his accuracy. He doesn't have the strongest arm. I think it's strong enough. How strong is Joe Burrow's arm? You know what I'm saying? How strong is Kirk Cousins' arm? So I think I'm not worried about his arm strength. How strong was Andy Dalton's arm? You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to have a cannon to be, better than good, to be elite. Who would say that Joe Burrow's not an elite quarterback? He doesn't have a strong arm. He's got a B+ arm. I think Shedeur has it within himself to have a B+ arm. But I love his accuracy. You know what I'm saying? I like the way he's able to actually read and process and run and function in an NFL style offense. His offensive coordinator was an NFL coach for 20 years. Is it Jim? Who is it? Is it Jim Haslett? Or don't quote me on that. I can't. I'm drawing a blank now. We've been all over the place in the chat. But so he's been receiving NFL coaching for 3 years now. No, Pat Shurmur. Excuse me, Pat Shurmur is his offensive coordinator. Pat Shurmur was the head coach of the Colts, of the Browns 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Was Shurmur the coach before Stefanski? Or was that Shanahan? Shurmur was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns within the last 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I mean? And he's been an offensive coordinator in the NFL around several teams for years. That's who Shedeur Sanders has in his ear for the last 2 years. He's been getting NFL coaching, running an NFL offense for 2 years now. At an amazing, tremendously. You know what I mean? So I lean Shedeur. And so if you're the Raiders or the Giants, your goal isn't, you don't want to win any of these games. You want to gracefully lose every game you can to lock in that number 1 pick and to guarantee that you get the guy that you want for your future. Especially two teams that have struck out wildly at the quarterback position. Daniel Jones was a massive miss for the Giants. And to make it worse, they paid him. They came back and cashed him out, $40 million. Some damn fools. Let Saquon leave because they paid. So the Giants have botched the quarterback position. The Raiders haven't been any better. What's the last quarterback that they drafted that played well? Aiden O'Connell was an undrafted free agent. We all know about the fiasco, the disaster that was Jamarcus Russell. You know what I mean? Who have they drafted since then? And then like a bevy of terrible free agent signings. Jimmy Garoppolo, Gardner Minshew this year. You know what I mean? So like these are two organizations that have been dying to have anything valuable at the quarterback position. So no, the Raiders, house money in that they don't have to do anything but lose. The best thing they can do for their season is in their future is to lose. So there's no pressure as far as the organization is concerned with draft picks, but now for the coaching staff and the players, they still got something to fight for. You know what I mean? But let's see here. Hey, questionnaire said, RTC, man, you stepping on his toes right now. Creek fan said, I got the chat back up, man. I took the chat down, man, when we were talking about Ike. You know what I'm saying? Just when we was talking about Ike, man, but now we got the chat back up. Questionnaire said the Steelers gonna win. Oh yeah, we're gonna bounce back, man. We're gonna bounce back like we left something. He said all the 29 other fan bases are asking for the Chiefs to lose on Christmas. Hey, don't worry, man. We'll get that done for you. We'll get that done for you. Keandre, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, they not trying to win, man. They not trying to win at all. They want to have their chance to get Shedeur. Honestly, I think Shedeur or Cam. I mean, either one. Like I said, I prefer Shedeur myself, but Cam Ward's not a bad consolation prize. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get him, yeah. Keandre said Tom Brady had a big plus arm. Well, Tom Brady had a. Excuse me, not Keandre. Like Tom Brady had a strong arm, but it wasn't it wasn't like a tier 1 arm. Like there's a different, like even there's a level or two above the type of arm that Tom Brady had. He had plenty of arm strength, but it wasn't a full-fledged gun. It wasn't Josh Allen. It wasn't Matt Stafford. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Prime Aaron Rodgers, prime Josh Allen now, prime Matt Stafford, cannons. You know what I mean? Like real guns. Like he ain't had one of those, but he had plenty of arm though. He still had plenty of arm for sure. Oh, okay, B plus. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. See, that's what I would say. I would say Tom Brady had, B plus, A minus. You know what I mean? B plus, A minus, somewhere in there. So yeah, but yeah, plenty arm though. Yeah, plenty arm. Question is, what does this victory mean for the Vikings? Honestly, and we kind of mentioned it. I mentioned it a minute ago as well. The Vikings are, especially with the Lions now officially losing, Vikings 11-2. Vikings have the same record as the Lions and the Eagles. They're all three 11-2. So the Eagles very quietly, and not even quietly, I mean they're winning, but it really feels like they're the step kid. They're the second hand. They're the middle child. You know what I mean? The Vikings are just the middle child. They're playing very well and nobody's noticing. Or we notice, but we still don't give them the same credit or respect. We don't talk about them or view them as the same level as contender as we do the Eagles, who have the same record. The Lions now, who have the same record. You know what I mean? And so they're still second fiddle to those teams, but no, they're very much in the mix for the number 1 seed. Very much so. Very much so. Crico said he missed the 2022 Giants. What was special about the 2022 Giants? Oh, was that the year they found a way to sneak to the playoffs, and then they did end up beating the Vikings in the playoffs that year. Crico, you are a Giants fan. That's right. From upstate New York. You are a Giants fan. I see. Called Tom Brady Keandre. Man, yeah, I was reading Keandre's comment. I was trying to read Keandre's comment about Tom Brady, man, and got to talk too fast. Michigan rules mapping, man. RIP to Ike, for sure. Yeah, RTC, yeah, exactly. They all 12-2. Vikings, Lions, and Eagles. So that number 1 seed, man, is definitely, it's in the mix, man. It's there for the taking for somebody. So let's see how all three of these teams finish out. And you know what? Now I wonder what those remaining schedules look like to kind of see. I think the Eagles have the easiest remaining schedule. And the only reason I say that is because I saw, well, now that I'm talking about it, now I can't tell y'all who they play. But when I had saw the last 3 games of the Eagles schedule, those are definitely 3 very winnable games. The Lions are just getting shredded by injury. I mean, they've been decimated by injury all year. It started right out the gate, losing Aiden Hutchinson when he starts this season looking like Derek Thomas. You know what I'm saying? And then now, this past Sunday, you lose a very tough fought game that you had to come back in at home. You lose that game against the Bills, and then you also lose David Montgomery, one of your stud running backs for the season. He's on IR now with a knee that he tore a ligament in his knee, had that surgery, so his season's done. So, man, the Lions are really getting beat up, man. And then the Vikings, I'm not sure what their last 3 are as well. Oh, excuse me, 12-2. Yeah, I said 11. Okay, yeah, my bad. 12-2, not 11-2. Is the Bears offense getting worse? Well, the biggest thing for the Bears, they had shown some glimpses of improvement when Thomas Brown took over as the OC and then the head coach, but the pass protection is just terrible. That is probably the worst offensive line in the league. And so I don't necessarily think the offense is getting worse, but it's just not set up to succeed. It's just not really set up to have much success, just given how poorly that offensive line is playing. Creek fan said he's got a question. Can the Packers run the table? The Packers are a damn good team as well. I think the Packers are 10-4 now. And here's the thing. The Packers have only lost to, the Packers of 4 losses are to the premium teams in the league. The Packers lost to the Lions. They lost to the Vikings. They lost to the Eagles week 1 in Brazil. Who's the Packers' last loss? They got 4 losses. I wonder, did they get swept by the Vikings maybe? But I saw a stat that said the combined record of all the teams that beat Green Bay is like 52-6, something like that. So they've only lost to the cream of the crop. Everyone else they've beat. So you have to tell me what the remaining schedule is, or I'll see if I can pull it up. I'll need to know what their remaining schedule is because this NFC playoff race, man. Well, this playoff race really on all sides is pretty tight, but yeah, especially in the NFC at the top. Let me see. Oh, they got swept by the Lions. Yeah. So the Packers got swept by the Lions. They lost to the Vikings and they lost to the Eagles. Those are the only teams that beat the Packers. And then their remaining schedule, Packers they have the Saints at home, away at the Vikings, and then the Bears at home. Just looking at that, I would probably go 2-1. So I would give them a win at home against the Saints. On the road against Minnesota, I would probably go to give that game to Minnesota just while we're talking about it. And then they finish at home again against the Bears. So I would say maybe not run the table, but 2-1. They can run the table. You're saying, can they? No, they definitely can. They can go toe-to-toe with anybody. In that first game that they lost to the Vikings, they lost that game. It was a damn close game. They lost that game by 2 points, 31-29. So they were right there in that game anyway. So that's definitely a 50-50 game. Now this one's going to be on the road, but they definitely can run the table. But if I had to call those games right now, I would say 2-1. I would give them victories at home against the Saints and the Bears, and I would maybe say they lose on the road at Minnesota because Minnesota's going to be fired up as well because they're trying to see if they can steal that number 1 seed. So they're not going to lay down at all. Michigan said, "Are the Seahawks a playoff team, even with the healthy Geno Smith?" I think they're a playoff team because I do think. Oh, you know what? They're leading that division now. Now the question is, are they going to be able to hold on to that division and keep the Rams at bay? Because the Rams are making a charge for that division. So are they going to be able to maintain hold of that division with the Rams coming along? Let's see. They lost in overtime to the Rams last month on the 3rd. And then they played the last game of the season is against the Rams. So for the Seahawks, their last 3 games are they home against the Vikings this week. Then they go on the road against the Bears and then on the road at the Rams. If I had to call those games right now for you, Michigan, I would say I would say they lose to the Vikings. I would say they beat the Bears, and I would think they lose on the road against the Rams at the very last game of the season. So that's 1-2 over their last 3 games, and that would make their record. Let's see. Where you at? Oh no! This loss they just had, the Rams now are leading that division at 8-6 because they've got the tiebreaker. So they're 8-6 right now. Ooh, no, I don't know if they make it then. They lost the division lead to the Rams because the Rams have the tiebreaker right now with the overtime win in Seattle. Oh, I remember that game now too. In Seattle, damn near gave that game away. They didn't play their best ball at all. The overtime touchdown from Stafford through a overtime touchdown to I can't think of the guy's name now. I remember the touchdown though for sure. I definitely do. On like the left half of the end zone in overtime. Damn, I can't think of the dude's name. But no, so now if they're 8-6, I think they end up getting swept by the Rams because the last game of the season is on the road against Las Vegas. So that means 1-3. That makes their record 9-8. Then at 9-8, no, they could because they may get that they'll have to fight it out with the Commanders for the 7th seed in the playoffs. So I think their road is definitely a hard road. They got to find a way to win 2 out of these last 3. That's what they've got to do. They've got to. I don't imagine them going on the road and beating Minnesota the way Minnesota's playing right now, and then also the way the Seahawks looking right now. I don't imagine they go on the road this week and beat the Vikings, but they finish with the Bears and the Rams. I think those 2 are must wins if they're gonna make it to the playoffs as the 7th seed to give themselves a chance there, but then also if they're going to have a chance to get this division back from the Rams. So that's what I would say there. Keandre said Tom Brady is talking slick. Who was that, me or you? Elvis said he got one too. What you got? Can the Bills keep winning these track meets? Absolutely. Big Josh. Come on, man. Big Josh ain't worried about none of that, man. Big Josh ain't worried about none of that. 40 points? So y'all just scored 40 on the road, in the snow, at home, on the moon, on Mars. Don't matter, man. Big Josh. Big Josh dropping 40. Don't matter where we at, who we playing, what time of day, what week of the month it is. Don't matter. Big Josh can drop 40, man. So hell yeah. When you got Big Josh, when you got one of them ones, ain't nothing you can't do when you got one of them ones, man. And Big Josh is one of them ones. Forget what you heard. Big Josh, one of them ones. Matter of fact, let me see what the remaining Bills schedule looks like. Or not, let me check these questions so I can keep up. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, okay, you posted those games for me. I appreciate you. Saints, Vikings, and Bears. Okay, yeah. So we already talked about it. Let's see. Is the loss to the Bills reason to be concerned going forward? I'm assuming you're talking about the Lions. I don't necessarily think the loss to the Bills is cause for concern because it was a tough competitive game. They came back in this game. The Bills came out and took it right to them. It was like 14-0 before 14-0 at home. You're down 14-0, at home at this point at this time of the year. And so that's a tough hill to climb anyway. So the fact that they climbed back and got themselves back in that game shows how tough and how promising this team and this roster still is. Now, they did fall short. People are going to talk about the decision, the aggressiveness of Dan Campbell with the onside kick that they didn't get. People will argue maybe you didn't have to go for it there. But the same things that make us laugh make us cry. I'm not going to complain about the onside kick because I've cheered for Dan Campbell when he's being aggressive. So being aggressive isn't a guarantee that it's going to work. So I'm not going to jump off the boat now because, now this one didn't work. The last 2 or 3 shots he took have worked. I'm not going to jump off the boat because now this one didn't work. No, man. No, that's not how I ride, man. It's not how I roll. You know what I'm saying? I cheered about it then, so I'm going to cheer about it now. I'm not mad at it because he's staying true to what he believes in. He's staying true to his coaching style, the culture of that team. We do what we got to do, man. And so if they willing to live with the consequences, who am I to tell them not to? So I'm not concerned. The bigger cause for concern is these injuries. The defense has got decimated, man. They're down like 7 starters on defense. Starters. They're down like 7 starters on defense. One of those being Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson was going to be a contender. He was an early contender for the Defensive Player of the Year, the way he started this year. You lose him almost right out the gate. You know what I mean? And so now those injuries have spread to the offense. David Montgomery is a very important piece of this offense, man. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs, Sonic and Knuckles, the best 1-2 running back punch in the league. You know what I mean? Like, they work so well together. They work so well off of each other. And now he tore his knee. And not only is he out for the regular season, he's probably out for your playoff run as well. So I think that's the cause for concern. Like, I'm anxious to see what Jahmyr Gibbs looks like now as the full-time back going forward. Y'all been on the show, man. I think just last week, just on Sunday, I just was saying that Jahmyr Gibbs is probably my favorite young back in the league. And if I had to start my team today and I'm picking a back, I'm picking Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know who am I picking in front of Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan right now. I am. That's not a knock on Bijan. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs over Saquon. It's not a knock on Saquon. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs, dog. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm building my team right now, give me Jahmyr Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to see what he looks like, because this is the only question or the only critique or the only thing that he hasn't shown me yet is, okay, well, what do you look like if you've got to carry that full load? Alvin Kamara, he's a faster, more explosive Alvin Kamara. But I think he's a better runner as well. So I think he's a better Alvin Kamara. He's a better and a faster Alvin Kamara. That's what I should say. You know what I mean? And for as talented as Alvin Kamara is, his best years were when he was partnered with Mark Ingram. You know what I mean? In my opinion, Alvin Kamara was his best when Mark Ingram was in that backfield with him, and they had that duo going, reminiscent of this Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery tandem. And I've made that comparison before. You know what I mean? So I do want to see what he's going to look like going forward. But I really enjoyed Jahmyr Gibbs, man, watching him play. I really enjoy watching him play. RTC, man, said the Rams are leading that division. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they beat Seattle, and then Seattle just dropped the game. Yeah, because Seattle going into Sunday, Seattle was leading the division, but yeah, now they switched places with the Rams for sure. How close are the Broncos to being a playoff team? Well, they're in right now. If they win and in. So if the Broncos win out, they're in the playoffs. The Chargers have crumbled, or the Chargers just got spanked at the crib by Big Baker. So they were in a tight race there with the Broncos in the 6-7 seed. But now that the Chargers have kind of fell to the side, the Broncos' destiny is firmly in their hand. All they got to do is win. And I'm pulling up their schedule now to see what they got left. So Broncos are on the road against the Chargers, on the road against the Bengals, and then at home against the Chiefs. Woo! That's a rough 3 games. That's a rough 3-game stretch for the Broncos. Now the Chargers just got spanked for sure, but the Broncos and the Chargers are still a pretty evenly matched team. Or a pretty evenly matched matchup. That's why I couldn't talk. And the Chargers won the first one. So the Chargers beat the Broncos in Denver by a touchdown, and now the rematch game is going to be tomorrow. Yeah, Thursday. Tomorrow in Los Angeles. That game feels like a must-win. Tomorrow feels like a must-win if they're going to make the playoffs. Because if you don't beat the Chargers, I don't see the I don't see the Broncos going to Cincinnati and beating and outdueling Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So that's a loss. And then you finish at home against the Chiefs. Now you came close to beating the Chiefs in Kansas City, but who knows if that lightning is going to strike twice? And this one's going to be, well, yeah, it is at home, but that's still you're not. Nobody's going to bank on rookie Bo Nix and the Broncos beating the Chiefs to close their season and make the playoffs. Who's going to bet the house money, the rent money on that? So I think this Chargers game tomorrow is a must win because these last 2 aren't promised. These last 2 are probably a little outside of what I imagine they really got. They can really do. They're 9-5. Yeah, they're 9-5. They beat the Chargers tomorrow, and I would think they lock up at least the 7th seed. I think a win tomorrow against the Chargers, and I feel pretty comfortable that they end up making the playoffs. Keanu just said he's a Tom Brady, a true greater debate. Hey, that rhyme a little bit, but nah. I'll tell you who you are in a minute. What was Tom Brady's backup, man? Matt Castle. Kansas City's very own, man. You the Matt Castle of the debate. Hey, Michigan said he got more questions. Go ahead, drop them on me, big dog. Let's do it. Said his head fell on his keyboard. Boy, I hope you ain't sleep. Let's see. How much damage did the Colts do to their playoff hopes? They all but shattered them. That loss to the hold on. 2 weeks ago they just lost to the Texans, but hold on. They're 6-8. I don't think they get in. Hold on. I don't think they get in. Yeah. Just lost to the Broncos now. They're 6-8. They finished with Titans, Giants, Jaguars. Those are honestly winnable games, but I think it may be too little too late. Even if they win all of those games, if they finish the season with 3 wins, that's still 9-8, and they're still behind the 10. And if the Broncos and the Broncos win 1 game over these last 3, they get to 10 wins. The Colts win all 3, they're still at 9 wins. So I think they pretty much sealed their own fate. Unless the Broncos go 0-3 and then make it interesting. But no, then even if the Broncos go 0-3 and they both have 9 wins, the Broncos just beat you head to head. So the Colts don't get in that way either. The Texans just locked up that division. So the Texans, with their win against Miami and then the Colts loss against the Broncos, the Texans have clinched the division, so they can't steal the division from Houston. So I think realistically, I think the Colts probably are done. Questionnaire said, yeah, a lot of damage. Yeah, they ain't making it. No, yeah, exactly. The math ain't mathing. Dominican Republic said he got a question. What you got? Should we consider the Bucs as a legitimate NFC contender? Man, I'm a big fan of Baker Mayfield. Now, when you say legitimate NFC contender, no, you know what? I'm gonna say no. Instead of like legitimate, I would say dark horse, because until the only two teams to beat Detroit this year are Big Josh Allen and the Bills. He had to score damn near 50 points to do it, and until then, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield went to Detroit. He got sacked by Aiden Hutchinson 5 times in the first half of that game, or 4.5 times in the first half of that game. He got sacked. He still came back. He had the game-winning touchdown in the fourth quarter, or the game-deciding touchdown in the fourth quarter on like a 20-yard scramble or a 15-yard scramble that gave them the lead, and then the defense closed the show. That was in Detroit, at Detroit's healthiest. That was the last game. That was the Aiden Hutchinson, I think, got hurt that next week. I want to say either that next week or maybe the week after that. But that was the last time. That was the most healthy that Detroit had probably reasonably been all year. Was the second game of the week again. I think it's the second game of the week against the Buccaneers. And Big Baker Mayfield went into Detroit and beat that healthy Lions team. So that tells me that Baker Mayfield could beat anybody. You know what I mean? Baker Mayfield and those Buccaneers can beat anybody. Now, if I had to rank them as far as, you know what I mean, odds to win the actual Super Bowl, I probably wouldn't go that far. But they're the type of team that nobody's going to want to play and run into. Because Baker Mayfield, he's got that big game gene in him, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a guy that shows up in the big moments. You know what I mean? He competes. He's scrappy. You know what I mean? And he can shoot it out. Baker Mayfield could drop 40. You know what I'm saying? We just seen him drop 40 on the so-called number one defense in the league, the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? Ranking-wise or statistically, in a lot of categories, for a lot of the season, they had been considered the number one defense as far as points allowed. He went to their building, dropped 40. So Baker can duel it out with anybody. So yeah, I'm not gonna sleep on them, but if I had to rank contenders, I mean, they're not going to be in that top tier of Super Bowl contenders, but they're hard out for anybody. They're not the team you want to run into, especially wild card weekend. I think Baker, I don't know who they play wild card weekend. Nobody wants to play them. I don't care if it's the Vikings. If the Vikings are the 5 seed, they don't feel good. They don't want to go to Tampa and play Baker Mayfield wild card weekend. If the Packers or the 5 seed, they don't want to go to Tampa and play Baker Mayfield wild card weekend. You know what I mean? Because that's no easy task, especially if Baker and that offense is on and clicking. Then that's trouble for just about anybody. Jahmyr Gibbs over Saquon. Yes, sir. If I'm building a team, hell yeah. Like if I'm building a roster, yeah. He's younger. He's faster. He's cheaper. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs if I'm starting the team right now today. Hell yeah. Now, Saquon's having a better year. You know what I'm saying? Like Saquon's having a career year. So Saquon's having a better year, but like roster building, and I'm building, like I own a team right now today, and I get to build my team with players right now today as they are. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs as my running back over anybody else in the league. Because I get his youth, I get his speed and explosiveness, I get his contract. He's still on his rookie deal. And he's got like 2 more years on that rookie deal. Oh, hell yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs, easy. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs. Saquon's great. You know what I'm saying? He's a little expensive. He's not old, but he's older. He's closer to 30 than he is to 25. No, he's closer to 30 than he is to 20. You know what I mean? I think he's like 27. 26, 27. But yeah, he's closer to 30 than he is to 20. And honestly, for running backs, sometimes it goes, for some guys, it goes faster than others. Now, maybe he's going to be one of these guys he's a freak athlete. So I'm not saying he's slowing down. But nah, when I take into all the factors and I'm building my team today, I don't know if there's anybody I'm taking over Jahmyr Gibbs. Not me personally, bro. Not me. My dog question is, hey, he said he's taking Jahmyr as well. Bro, Jahmyr is a stud, dog. Jahmyr is a stud. Jahmyr and I'll tell you what, I'm not saying he's not as fast as Chris Johnson, but I feel like he has like that extra gear that Chris Johnson did. Like we're like, I don't know, man. I really feel like he's just got a different gear, man. He's got different gear. When guys got an angle on him, and then like he hits another gear and beats angles. You know what I mean? Like he's special, dog. He's special. Oh, I see. Yeah, that blank message. It happens. RTC said his Chargers are falling. Find a way to miss playoffs. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know if y'all. I think y'all might have played yourself out of the playoffs. Well, that's why this game tomorrow against the Broncos is so important. Let me see what y'all record is now. Cause not y'all still what? Y'all got 8 wins. Y'all got the Broncos tomorrow night, then at the Patriots, at the Raiders. Okay, so tomorrow night, if I had to pick y'all schedule, if I had to call the games, I would say y'all go 2-1. I would give y'all a loss tomorrow night to the Broncos. I think you go on the road in New England. I think I think y'all can win that game. And then the Raiders in the last week of the season, no way in hell they're trying to win that game. So you should win that game. So that's 2-1. And then let me see what y'all record is again. Let me see what y'all record is again. And you're 8-6. Okay, yes, that's 10-7. So that's 10-7, which, in assuming the Broncos, if the Broncos beat y'all tomorrow and then y'all win the rest of y'all games, and then let's say if the Broncos lose the rest of theirs, y'all both get 10-7, well, the Broncos would have the tiebreaker over y'all and they would have swept y'all, so they would get in. Ooh. Yes, Ravens are the 5th seed. So no, I guess so. There's still a chance. Yeah, so there's still a chance. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, Ravens, Browns, Broncos, Chargers. Yeah, no. Y'all can still make it. Yeah, y'all can still make it. I was thinking that maybe the Broncos were gonna bump y'all out, but no, y'all can still make it because I don't think the Colts are gonna do it. Honestly, I don't think the Dolphins do it. The Bengals still are somehow they're still not mathematically eliminated for whatever, you know what I'm saying? So they have a backdoor chance of doing it. Like if I realistically I think y'all last 2 games of the season y'all should win. Patriots and the Raiders. Now if y'all win, if y'all beat the Broncos tomorrow night, I think y'all all but guarantee you make the playoffs. So that's why I'm thinking tomorrow night's game against the Broncos and the Chargers is a must-win game for both those teams. I think the winner of that game tomorrow night all but assures they make the playoffs. Now, whether it's going to be the 6th seed or the 7th seed, who knows how they flip-flop. But I think a win tomorrow night for either one of those teams, Broncos or Chargers, is going to win the division. That's how it looks like to me, looking at these looking at the scheduling or how things are playing out. So let me see. RTC said he wants those Broncos to lose out. Hey, y'all playing tomorrow night. Y'all handle y'all business tomorrow night, man. You ain't got to worry about it. Should the Chargers be concerned about their defense? No, I don't necessarily think concerned. Now, here's the thing, man. Like, I don't think that defense was quite as good as it was ranked early. But because the schedule, y'all played a pretty soft schedule for the first half of the season, relatively speaking. Like there weren't many talented offenses that you guys ran into that the first 8-9 weeks of the year. And then you ran into the Bengals at home. And then you know what I'm saying? They scored 25, 24, 27 points in the second half. You know what I mean? Then like the Ravens come to the building. Tampa Bay just comes to the building. So now you're playing like, competent offenses. And so I think it's more so balancing out versus I don't think y'all were I don't think the defense is just like cracked. I think now it's just balancing out. I don't think you were quite as good as the numbers suggested that defense was to start the season, just the way the schedule was and the teams and opponents y'all played. is what I think is more so that. Anyway, question, you got another question. All right, said, never mind, it's too long. All right, hold on. Damn, hold on. If you could schedule these games, hold on, man, that's a long one, boy. Hold on. It's a blind record, so you don't know who's next. Bucks and Falcons. That's going on. That's Thursday night. I like Tom. I like Baker Mayfield, but I'm not excited to watch the Bucks and the Falcons play again. Well, those games were actually entertaining when they played them earlier in the season, especially the one that went to overtime. The Buccaneers were in control of the game, but they couldn't put it away. Terrible turnovers. It kept giving the ball back to the Falcons, and then Kirk Cousins, probably one of the highlights of his season, man, was winning that game. They ended up getting to overtime, and then he won that game in overtime on the first play. A deep touchdown, catch and run to I think it was Darnell Mooney for like 50 yards when they won that game in overtime. If the Chargers lose out and the Colts win out, the Colts are in. Did the Colts beat the Chargers head to head? Because I'm still not sure. I'm not sure because let's say if they both end up 9-8, because the Colts can only be 9-8 if they went out. So if they both wind up as 9-8, I don't know the tiebreakers. I can't think off the top of my head if the Chargers and Colts played head to head. If they have the head to head and they both and that happens, then yeah, maybe. But the last game of the season for the Chargers is the Raiders. Week 17 against the Chargers and the Raiders. That's a dub. Unless the Raiders pull a Houston Texans and win the last game of the season just for shits and giggles and cost themselves the number one pick, then nah. So I would almost say we can almost guarantee Week 17 is a dub. So that means they got at least one dub coming. So I just don't see the Chargers losing all of them. Dolphins lose one more. Yeah, they probably do. They lost that game against the Texans. I thought they had a chance to win that game. Just looking at where the Texans were, how they were playing, going into that bye week. But no, they found a way to get that done for sure. Your dad didn't want you watching, man. Hey, man, yeah, we talking a little football, man. Tell pops to tune in with us, man. Question is that he'll take Saquon and Madden. Second game is Vikings Lions. Now that's a matchup. That could be a Sunday night game. That could be a Sunday night game. That could be a Monday night game. I'll go Sunday night. Vikings Lions could be Sunday night. He said, okay, they didn't play. So they didn't play, but he's sure the Colts had a better divisional record. I'm not sure if they did. I'm not sure. I was going to see if I could pull it up. I'm not sure if they did or not. Let me see. What are the games where we? Oh man, it's 8:45 too, boy. Hey, look, we almost at 9:00, man. We didn't get through all the games. Third game, Ravens and Steelers. Oh, that's Monday night. Ravens and Steelers playing, man. That's Monday night prime time, baby. Come on, man. That's prime time. Give me that Monday night, Ravens and Steelers. There's never a bad time to watch Ravens and Steelers. I'll take that Monday night all day long. Sunday night or Monday night. I gave Sunday night to the Vikings and Lions, so I'll go Monday night, Ravens and Steelers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see what else we got. Fourth game, Chiefs and Chargers. Man, that could be a 1:00 Sunday game. That's just a 1:00 Sunday game. That's just a 1:00 Sunday game, man. I don't need to separate that game out. That could be a 1:00 Sunday game. Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Every now and again they make those games kind of close, but they just never really feel. I don't know if anybody ever has any real confidence that Herbert's gonna pull one over Patty. I think they've won They're 2-9, I think, head to head versus the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes over the last 6 years or whatever the case. 2-9. And then so that leaves the last game, Eagles. No, I think I got the 3 o'clock game. Oh yeah, no, well yeah, he's in Cali. Okay, yeah. So y'all time slots are different. Okay, yeah, y'all slots a little different. Okay, and then Eagles Commanders. Okay, so well, if I was doing Chiefs and Chargers for me, was gonna be okay, yeah, y'all 12 o'clock game is different. Okay, I got you. So okay, for me, Chiefs Chargers is y'all's 10 o'clock game. Then Eagles Commanders would be the I guess the 12 or the 1 o'clock game, and then the other ones fall in the other way. Yeah. I be forgetting y'all in Cali. Yeah. So you been in Cali for 2 weeks now. Remind me again, man. What part of Cali you in? Remind me again. I know you've told me. Oops. But oh yeah, no, yeah. I know you've told me, but I can't remember. Remind me again, bruh. I'll tell you what, yeah, it's about okay, yeah, Chiefs and Chargers would be our 3 p.m. game. The late slot. No, not for Chiefs and Chargers. I thought Chiefs and Chargers was gonna be the late, like the Sunday night slot. The late slot or like the Sunday night slot, I thought was the Lions and Vikings. Oh, okay, you live in El Paso, but visiting LA. Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. And then, matter of fact, we were just talking about this game that's happening tomorrow night, man. So I think I'm gonna close it out with this Thursday night game preview, man. Denver on the road at the Chargers. I think the winner of this game assures themselves a playoff ticket. I would think so. The winner of this game assures themselves a playoff ticket. And I'm going Denver, man. I'm going Denver on the road. I've got this one 23-20 to Denver. What'd you say? Late side is 3. Early side is 12. Yeah, well, yeah, 12 here. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, in LA, y'all early slide is 10. Yeah, the time is throwing me. But yeah, I'm taking Denver to get it done, man. 23-20. I do think I think both these teams make the playoffs. Honestly. I think they both do, especially looking at the Chargers record. I think the Chargers definitely got 2 very winnable games to close out the season. The Patriots on the road and the Raiders, which are trying to lose as many games as fast as they can. So I think that's 2 wins that gets the Chargers to 10 wins. I think they make the playoffs. I think Denver wins this game tomorrow night. Now, their last 2 games are definitely tougher. So I think this is more of a must win for the Broncos. They've got a harder road overall. So I think this is a must win for this one for them. And I'm giving them the win in this one personally. So I do think they get this dub and lock up a playoff spot for themselves as well. So you're going to visit RTC. Hey, yeah, man, go ahead, tap in, man. Yeah. Tell RTC I said what's up, man. Well, he's in Stockton, so I think he's in Stockton. Is Stockton north? A little north. I know LA's in, you know what I'm saying, SoCal for sure. And I think Stockton's up north a little bit, man. That might be, I don't know how far that is, but yeah, y'all definitely tap in, man. I was about to say y'all should have a drink for your dog, but I don't know if y'all old enough to drink. Oh, y'all meeting up at the game. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's dope. That's dope, man. That's dope. Hey, man, yeah, man, you got take some pictures of some video or something, man. You know what I mean? Take some pictures of videos, man. Enjoy yourselves, man. Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah. Hey, he was mentioning on the plane. Hey, man, hey, we appreciate that, man. Shout out to the community, man. Shout out to the members, dog. For sure. Now, hey, man, that's what's up, man. I do want to catch a game in SoFi. I just want to see the stadium. You know what I mean? Like my Steelers played there last year, and man, I would have loved to have went to that game, man. But I definitely want to see that stadium for sure. Oh, okay, he's landing soon. Now that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Well, man, look, hey, I tell you what, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wind it on down, man. What it's 9 o'clock here my time. It's 9 o'clock here my time. NFL questionnaire. I ain't gonna lie, your boy gotta call it, man. I gotta shut it on down, man. Get ready for tomorrow. But before we do, man, y'all know what time it is, man. Time for that real member roll call. Shout out to first one in the door today, moms. I appreciate you. Happy Wednesday. Shout out to the nation for sure. My dog D-Dot came through. Hi, my dog, man. Big Nation Business in the building. As always, appreciate your homeboy. Sis was in the building. Big Nation Business as well. Shout out to my dog Keandre. Hey, he said he was going hard on Kurt. You was still going a little too hard on Kurt to start the season. You was going a little too hard on him. But I ain't gonna lie, boy. He played right into your hands this last month or two for sure. But shout out to my dog Keandre, man. Appreciate your homeboy. Shout out to my dog Jolly Juice, man. Jolly Juice out there as well. Jolly Juice out there in Cali as well. He was trying to hate on my Steelers, man. I don't know who the sellers are, though. Y'all worry about Christmas night, man. Y'all worry about y'all coming to Pittsburgh and getting this work. That's what y'all worry about. Y'all worry about we losing to somebody else. Y'all worry about y'all business on Christmas, man. Yeah, for sure, man. Appreciate you as always, though, Jolly Juice, man, coming through, hanging with your dog. Shout out to my dog, NFL questionnaire, man. Appreciate your homeboy. Shout out to Elvis Plays Roadbox in the building as well. Appreciate your homeboy. RTC, my dog, man, in the building as always, man. Appreciate you, bro. Man, Creco in the building as well. And man, and then also, man, one more time, man, RIP to Ike, man. Ike YT, Ike White, man. RIP, man, 16 years old, dog. Man, that's condolences, man. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, his brother came in there and, you know what I'm saying, and spoke to everybody as well, man. So, terrible news, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. Especially, it's never a good thing to hear anybody pass, but especially, man, a guy so young. And, man, I told y'all, man, I turned to an old man, but I mean it. And I'm so serious, man, like, whole life in front of him, dog. So, RIP, man. RIP to Ike White, man. One of them members for sure, man. I'm glad I got to bump into you, man. Glad our paths got to cross, dog. Creek fan in the building as well, man. RIP to Ike for sure, man. Dip Tango Mapping in the building. Michigan Mapping in the building as well. Vichy Victoria in the building as well. The DR in the building holding us down as well. Come on now. Creek fan in the building as well, man. Creeko was in the building as well. I'm looking for y'all, man. I'm looking for y'all. I'm looking. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. Damn. We say the same thing every week. You can feel free to say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, damn, my bad. But charge it to my head and don't charge it to my heart. You know we thinking about you, man. So, man, appreciate our love support for the show, man. One more time, rest in peace, man. Rest in power, rest in paradise to Ike White, man. Ike YT, man. One of those members, man. Gone way too soon. 16 years old, man. Prayers and condolences to you and your family. Hey, NFL questionnaire, man. Hey, yeah, go pick them up, big dog. Appreciate you coming through tonight for sure. Man, y'all have fun at that game, man. Have fun. Be safe. Man, I can't wait to hear y'all tell me about the game, man. We'll tap back in Sunday. Maybe I'll see y'all Sunday morning, man. If y'all show up to the Sunday stream, y'all can tell me how it was in that stadium, man. I'll see y'all then. Y'all be safe, man. Appreciate y'all, boys. But, yeah, other than that, man, the rest of y'all, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. One more time, RIP to Ike White, man. Gone way too soon, brother. Like I said, man, I'm glad I got to bump into you. Prayers to you and your family, dog. Until Sunday at 10 a.m., y'all stay safe. Love the ones that love you back, man. And y'all be smooth. I'll see y'all next time.